If you're a health-conscious woman who's struggling with emotional eating, you want to pay attention to what I have to say today about this. I'm offering some tips and some techniques to help you to put an end to emotional eating. So if you watched my live video last week on Wellness Wednesday, I started to address how stress negatively impacts your ability to say no to emotional eating. And I hope that you are taking stress seriously and utilizing some stress relieving techniques to help you to be at more peace and ultimately be more intentional about the way you feed yourself. And so, because this topic is such a big topic, I decided to do it in 3 lives, and today is the second one of the 3 lives. So today I want to address something that is sort of related to stress because it creates stress in the body. But the one thing that many health-conscious women struggle with is food, eating regular meals. You know, so many of us are sort of intrigued by these crazy diets and deprivation dieting and under eating and over exercising, that we get in the habit of eating less actually than our body needs. And I know it sounds counterintuitive. However, when you're not eating enough food, you put your body into a stress mode, and your body creates something called cortisol. Cortisol will actually increase weight regardless of how many or how little calories you're actually eating. So when you are under exercising and under eating and over exercising, you are setting your body up to create a physiological imbalance, and that's going to create excessive cortisol, and that's going to tell your body to hold on to excess weight. It's also going to affect because when the stress response gets triggered in our body, our metabolism slows down, our blood vessels constrict, and so we're not even able to think clearly, and we are very impulsive in the moment. So it's very stressful for your body to go on all crazy deprivation diets. And I know that, fasting is a big thing now, and every now and then a new elixir or panacea comes up and gives us more information about what we should do as far as releasing excess weight. But I want to encourage you to try to get away from the latest, what the authorities are saying, and the latest fad, and start to treat your body with love and respect by putting in regular nourishing meals. Eating regularly throughout the day is going to help your body feel safe. Your body's going to get into a routine and feel more at ease and more at peace. And you can certainly release excess weight in a healthy way that is sustainable by eating throughout the day. I'm not saying mindless eating throughout the day, but I'm saying nourishing yourself with good, healthy foods. So putting in foods throughout the day regularly is an important part of ending emotional eating. So, and being aware of maybe that you're not, maybe there's a fear of eating. I was in for years under eating, and I was afraid to actually add more food because I was so worried that I might put on extra pounds. And the truth of the matter is that once your body gets acclimated to it and used to it, your metabolism works more efficiently, and you create a sense of safety in your body, and that helps reduce the stress, and all your body functions start to behave more effectively. So putting in regular food, eating regular meals, avoiding going too many hours without food is important, very, very important. I also, yeah, I remember years ago having a client who, she was eating maybe like 500 calories a day. It was so little, really dangerous. And her body was not losing weight. As a matter of fact, she was gaining weight. And it took a lot of convincing and working through some blockages to help her to start to put in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and put in, good fats, and put in some protein. But ultimately, when she was able to do that, her body started to feel safe and at ease, and actually her body started to release excess weight. So I want to encourage you, if you are involved in the latest crazy diet or deprivation dieting or afraid to eat more food, I want to encourage you to start to just play with this, try it out, see how it feels. And you may not see weight drop immediately, but you will start to feel more balance in your body, and it will help you to say no to emotional eating. Because when we don't have balance and consistency and rhythm in our body, it sets us up for erratic eating. So that brings me to another point. We want to have consistency in our life, not only with our meals, but it's really good to get into a routine, like getting up around the same time of the day, eating your meals around the same time of the day, going to sleep at the same time of the day. Your body loves consistency. And when you can start to treat your body with respect and love, the way you would give consistency to your child, right? You know that when your child hasn't slept well, they're cranky and they are irrational. The same thing happens for us. If we're off of our schedule, and I'm not saying we need to have a rigid schedule, but the body loves consistency. And that's going to give your body a feeling of safety. And when your body feels safe, it can take off its armor. I had a client once say to me, my weight is my armor. It protects me. So it's not only protecting us because maybe we have had some experiences that didn't feel safe, but it also protects us from our own self-abuse or our own self-neglect. So again, you want to create consistency by putting in routine and feeding, sleeping, maybe doing some gentle movement, and giving your body the opportunity to feel safe. The next thing I wanted to talk about, which is also connected to this, is to start to have more awareness. Sometimes, as women, we're so busy and taking care of others and the to-do list, and we don't even have the awareness that we're not feeding ourselves, or we're not treating ourselves with respect, or the awareness of what we're actually putting in our bodies, in our mouths. I remember again a couple of years ago working with a client, and I asked her, what does she eat for breakfast? And the realization that she didn't even feed herself. She was eating her children's scraps. And it actually made her feel really sad because she realized she was neglecting herself to the point where she wasn't even sitting down and eating a meal. She was eating the scraps of her children. So the awareness, without beating yourself up, because a lot of times we just unconsciously repeat patterns, we just want to have an awareness of what are we doing now that is sabotaging us, that's keeping us from putting in consistency, from putting in the good stuff, giving ourselves the time to eat nourishing foods, the self-respect to honor ourselves. So having that awareness is the first step in enabling you to start to take some actions that are in more alignment with your health and well-being. And as you support your own health and well-being, you will be able to show up for everybody else in your life so much better. So again, I want to encourage you to start eating regular meals, eating breakfast. As a matter of fact, breakfast is so important. And I've seen this time and again with myself and with clients that sometimes just putting in a nourishing breakfast will diminish the need to eat at night. Like I say, give it a try and see how that works for you. I know it initially, for me, years ago, I was so into under-eating that it was a big step for me to eat a bigger breakfast, to start to put in more food, more nourishing food. But I have to say that it has stabilized my blood sugar, it has stabilized my emotional body, and so the consistency helps with the erratic behavior, which is emotional eating is all about erratic behavior. So putting in breakfast, eating regular meals, having some gentle awareness of where are the areas of your life where you're not feeding yourself healthy foods or not feeding yourself in other ways, and putting in consistency and routine. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I want to hear from you. What is it that you are going to start to do now? Start to add into your life, and you can take baby steps for sure. Maybe it's exploring what a more nourishing breakfast would feel like. Maybe it's exploring routine, getting into a routine. Or maybe you can start to journal and become more aware of what and when you actually are eating without beating yourself up, without judging yourself. Using these tips and techniques to help you to step into your health and well-being with more happiness, more peace, and success. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're going to put into your days this week. And until next week I will be talking about another technique and tool that is directly related to emotional eating. So be sure to tune in for that. It is how we can start to make friends with our emotions. But putting in the consistency, de-stressing yourself are two important components to that. Also, this evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time, I'm doing a free live coaching. You can see the event in this group. You're welcome to join us. And we're going to be talking about stress relievers for life. So maybe I'll see you there. Until next time, I hope that you take good care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.